The courts have handed down a sentence of 12 years behind bars for an alleged member of a dangerous group from Kings Valley. The self-confessed member of the dangerous group, known as Powell, who pleaded guilty to 2 counts of loss of life, was sentenced to 12 years behind bars when he appeared in Hanover Circuit Court on Thursday. According to the police, Powell pleaded guilty to taking the life of Oral McIntosh on January 7, 2017, and for taking the life of Ida Clark on March 26, 2017, when he appeared in the Westmoreland Circuit Court on Wednesday, November 17th. According to the police, Powell was given 12 years behind bars at hard labor and must serve 10 years before being eligible for parole. Powell has 2 previous convictions for offenses of illegal possession of a dangerous tool and illegal possession of accessories, and was given 18 months behind bars at hard labor in 2019. Enforcement officers are deeply saddened after a former colleague was given life behind bars. Colleagues of former police constable Mark Russell wept openly in court as he was sentenced to life behind bars for assisting in taking the life of a youth of 17 in 2007. He will serve 24 years behind bars before he is eligible for parole. The 34-year-old ex-constable, who was assigned to the Hunts Bay Police Station in St. Andrew, was sentenced by Justice David Fraser. The judge said that he, Russell, would not have been eligible for parole until after 30 years if he had not already spent 6 years in custody. 1 year in the United States, where he had escaped to, and the remaining years in Jamaica after he was extradited. Stressed-looking Russell, who appeared to be on the verge of tears, bowed his head after the ruling as if struggling to come to terms with the information that he was in receipt of. 2 of Russell's relatives who had attended the sentencing were too distraught to say anything. Russell was found guilty by a majority verdict of 5-2 a week ago, following a 2-week trial in which Prosecutor Taylor, Senior Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions, led evidence that had suggested that he assisted former colleague Lee to cause harm to a youth known as Thompson. The youth lost his life after he was initially hurt during a shellings incident, during which what was reported as an exchange of shellings between a joint police military team and a dangerous individual on Alexander Road in Kingston. It heard that while Thompson was on his way to KPH with 1 accessory in his upper area, the police, who were in the company of 6 soldiers, stopped along Darling Street and caused harm to him. 3 soldiers testified that Russell took a dangerous tool that belonged to Lee and placed it in Thompson's hand and issued shellings with it, before Lee also caused harm to the youth twice in his upper areas as well. Before the sentence was handed down yesterday, Williams of Rehoboth Gospel Assembly and Russell's attorney, Michael Jordan, both pleaded for leniency on the behalf of Russell. It was mentioned that Williams knew Russell for over 26 years. He also told the court that when he first heard about the case, he told his wife that he did not believe that Russell took the life of the youth, as he knew the former police officer as a kind, polite, quiet, hard-working, and disciplined young person. He further went on to urge the judge to extend mercy to Russell as he was still young and had his whole life ahead of him. Jordan, in addition to making a similar request, asked the judge to consider the number of years that Russell had already served in custody, that he had no previous trouble with the law, and before this incident was an exemplary law enforcement officer. He also urged Fraser to take into account that Russell was not the one who had taken the life of the youth, and that he has been remorseful and deeply saddened for the pain that he has caused the family of the youth. Further mentioned that Russell is not somebody who is beyond rehabilitation. At the age of 34, he is considered to be still young, and he has many years remaining to be a productive person in society. It was also said that he does and always and continues to express remorse. Justice Fraser, in passing the sentence, said that While he has to balance his duty to society and his duty to Russell, he could not ignore the serious nature of the allegations. He also pointed out that he had to consider that the law enforcement officers were entrusted to protect and serve the public, and that the verdict of the jury indicated their belief that Russell did the opposite of that. The judge, however, said that he took into consideration that Russell was not the individual who caused harm to Thompson, and that the social inquiry report spoke highly of him and echoed the sentiments of Reverend Williams. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.